welcome to you all. My name is Vishal, and I'm just checking if this is a pre-check of our session that is going to start in a couple of seconds. We're going to talk about ISO 19650, and we will see how we can use it for strategic management in terms of an engineering company. If you're running an engineering company which is doing actually engineering in a construction environment, perhaps, or it might be also doing engineering for a subcon, can be, let me just check, I'm just checking. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So we have a good sound. LinkedIn is going fine, YouTube is going fine, and our colleagues on Zoom are also connected. They're joining in very fast. So what we will be doing is today, we will be looking at the course module. It's a 6 weeks course module that we have designed for ourselves. This is a very beginning of it, and what are we going to achieve at the end of these sessions? It would be that if you are an engineering manager, or if you are a budding manager who wants to go to a level where you want to put in implement BIM processes in your organization, how you can show value to your management. That is one. So if you're already a 9001 certified company, we will show you ways how it can make it's going to make life very easy for you to show to your management that how the strategic goals of the organizations can be gleaned from, or can be achieved by a proper implementation of BIM. That's our criteria. That's what we want to do. That is what we're going to study in our sessions these days. We are not going to talk about the softwares. We're not going to talk about the tools. We're going to talk about the process. It's a process-driven management kind of a book club, instead of talking about softwares and doing modeling. See you after these messages. Thank you. Welcome back. So what we're going to do now is, I just did all the checks at the audience. The audio is good, the sounds are going good, and people are joining in as well. So what we're going to do is, very quickly, we will move to our session, because these sessions are weekly, 15 minutes every week. And why is that? Because we are working professionals. We cannot take our time and sit in classes for hours and study. So what we are doing is, we are learning bite size, 15 minutes perhaps a week. We all can take that out, and from those 15 minutes we spend some time and study codes and standards. We do NFPA 72 live sessions as well on Zoom and LinkedIn, which is at 30 hours IST, Indian Standard Time, which is GMT plus 5:30. We do that as well, and this is our BIM session for ISO 19650. Very welcome to you all. This is session number 3. We have not covered much. Today we're going to reveal our 6-month ahead plan. We want to see what we will be covering. We want to see, I want to share with you what we will be covering, because I want to give you a plan, what we're going to study, so that you can plug in. And these will be 15-minute sessions. We will be covering a lot in these 15-minute sessions. It will be condensed sessions. And if the discussion goes very fine, I mean, we have Zoom session, we have Zoom on all the time. You can always come and connect with us on Zoom as well, so that we can have one-to-one conversation. And you are more than welcome to, since you're on LinkedIn, you can always type your questions in there in the comment box, and we can take it from there. So what we do is, also we do Tech Tuesdays. These are technical Tuesdays posts that I put on my LinkedIn, and of course our WhatsApp group. We have more than 600 people wherein we share our problems, we share our doubts, and people, without judging you, give answers to you. And we are a diverse community, knowledge-driven community, which is more than which comes from USA, from India, from the Middle East. Some of them are from Bangkok. Some of them are from the African countries as well. So we are a very diverse cohort, or for that matter, technical group. So NBC is putting an emphasis on the smoke, and smoke indeed is one of the reasons that kills people, and containment of it is being given an up notch in more seriousness in the 2025 edition, which I still calling 2025 edition because I don't know if they're going to call it 2026 because it's not released yet, to best of my knowledge. So that's one of the Tech Tuesday. The other thing that we do is Thursday Trivia, which is more or less on 19650. Now, the concept is this, what we learn bite size. So if you're following me, or if you're following our book club or WhatsApp group, you would be able to get these bite size learning at your own pace, and it will help you out to build up your knowledge, because these bite size learning helps you just give it a glance and perhaps recall a couple of times. It's like your flashcards, and you can always keep learning. So that's what we are trying to do over here. So let's talk about the master information delivery plan. Yes, that's something that we will also discuss while we are going in ISO 19650. And what we are trying to do in ISO 19650 is to give you a business sense. As a business, why you should do it. As a business, why and what are the frameworks that you should follow. Now, there is in academia, because in academia, usually it is like a perfect world lab environment. They say, oh, you should not go ahead and follow these standards, but and frameworks and however you should go and look at the troubleshoot what the problem is, and then you perhaps want to implement any kind of frameworks or standard in your organization. But we forget that standard in the first were written as best practices of an organization. People have learned over the time. For example, NFPA. The NFPA started with the insurance companies keeping normal books in 1800s, wherein they found out they used to scribble down, okay, if you have door of certain types swinging in a certain motion, it helps of egress of people. So those kind of things become standards, and they come down and they come into a code, and the code is applied by the municipality, or for that matter the organization, the country themselves, and then that becomes a law, right? So that's the progression of a standard, and that's the reason we're more interested in going into standard and frameworks, so that we don't reinvent the wheel. The wheel is already people. The problem that every organization is facing, and especially the startups are facing, that is about scaling up. And when they're scaling up, they need people. They need people who can gel with them, who can understand the problem of the founder, perhaps. And if there are no frameworks, if there are no standards that have been followed, it makes things difficult. You know why? Because a definition of, if I say a problem statement, if I say bus, a normal word bus, B-U-S, it means different for people of to the knowledge that they have been exposed to. A bus for perhaps a driver would also be a 40-seater bus. For a driver would be perhaps a Volvo bus, which has one, two, three, four axles, right? So there's those kind of axles are there. For a student who wants to just go to a bus, he just fancies a yellow bus, which is having where he just want to sit in the bus. That's it. They don't talk about seats and all. They just want to sit in the bus. So that's the reason the lingo is very important, so that your team can talk to each other in the same lingo. And that's the reason we talk about ISO. So that's very, very quick brief. What we will, I want to keep emphasizing on what we will not be doing. We will not be doing any software. We will not be talking about software tutorials. I'm sorry. There are a lot of education institutions out there. They are doing it for you. And where do I get my credentials from? Doing teaching, or perhaps doing a book club. Now, a book club is a two-way discussion. It's not me teaching you. It's we discussing it with each other. I teach building information modeling For Abertay University's course, which is a UK university, they have a course called MSc Construction, and I'm teaching building information modeling to the students of MSc Construction. So there's where and I've already gone, I've already handled a couple of students and such sessions. I've done them, and then here we go. I'm sharing my knowledge with you as well, and of course, um, hope to learn from you as well. As simple as that. So ISO has 6 parts. Up until the start of the year, there were only 5 parts of the 19650. Now the 6th part has also been released, and it has been, which is more or less about health and safety. And you can see on your screen, just want to run what we have done in our previous session. You can see on your screen, the number 1 is, of course, is only talking about the number 1 is talking about concepts and principles, so it's setting up the base. Then the number 2 talks about delivery phase of the asset. Now we need to understand we're talking about a build environment project. We need to understand that very clearly. And when we talk about a build environment project, usually all your build environment projects, they are, give me a bit, they are prepared in the, they are, their plan of execution is prepared in a waterfall method, which means one thing ends, the second thing starts. So like if you throw a water from on a staircase from the top, it will come down one thing one by one, right? So, each stair would get wet. So give me a bit. So sometimes it does not come well. So that's your waterfall method, right? So you have stairs. So you drop water here, so it will splash here, then it will splash here, then it will splash here. So in other words, step by step. So you do one step, you go ahead, you do another step, or you do parallel steps as well. Construction, to best of my knowledge, as of now, has not gone agile. Yes, PMP teaches agile, and the 8th edition that is there, that has come up already, where if you're going for PMP, a lot is being discussed on agile and AI in this particular edition. So coming back to our discussion, so we are talking about from the inception phase, from the day the client is thinking of a project. Okay, he thinks that he wants to build a mall, he wants to build a commercial complex, a gated community perhaps, or multi-story high-rise building. From that particular day, the project starts. Okay, so you need to have, so as far as 19650 part 1 is concerned, it talks about the, which is, so that's how it is written. It talks about the concepts and principle. The number 2 talks about the delivery phase. Okay, the number 3 talks about the, let me call it delivery, and let me call it operation. So when you're doing execution and all. Number 4 talks about the information exchange. Okay, now we will very shortly, while we are as we are moving on, you will see this chapter becomes very important, because at the end of the day, the client has asked you certain things, not only to build the building, but they have asked you certain more information on the building itself, because a building has a hell lot of information. If you go to a previous session, we have talked about how a brick is being seen or perceived in terms of information by different contractors who are involved in the project. So you can always visit my LinkedIn profile. It's linkedin.com/in/amneo, amneo as AMNEO, all small letters. So, and you perhaps will be seeing on the top left as well of this screen. So, and the number 5 talks about the security, of course, because we're talking about information, we're talking about computer security is very important. You don't want a national project which is of national importance, that information to fall in the wrong hands. You don't want that, right? You don't want that somebody who can harm the project itself. For example, you're building, the company is building a dam or perhaps a railway system. That information should not go into wrong hands for sure. Then number 6 talks about and about health and safety. So we will be looking at, now if you see all why this why ISO 19650 is important is because an engineering organization who are actually working on a build environment, in a build environment, be it civil contractor, be it MEP contractor, be it a subcon of them as well. They can always come and they can always be a part. They can always make sure that correct information is is collected at the correct time of the project. There are tools for that, and those tools are, for example, your Adobe Cloud, wherein all the information comes, your CDE, in other words. And then you have something called modeling softwares. Revit is the most famous one. I'm not advertising anything here, but I need to give examples. Then there are from Dassault, there are from Trimble as well. So there are many other softwares. So those are tools, but tools are just to get the work done. But there is information out there which needs to be captured. So we will be discussing these, and that's what we talked about last time, how it integrates. This is what we want to do. We just don't want to learn BIM processes to give us an idea or to know BIM. We just don't want to learn the BIM processes. We want to tell to our management how it is going to add value to the overall workflow of the organization and the productivity of the organization. Yes, there will be some money that needs to be paid in the beginning, but there you go. When the when the construction industry transitioned from paper and the engineering board, you remember in the last, if you go and search out on Google, you will see that how the drawings were done before. There used to be large halls of drafter, large halls wherein drafter will be sitting in there, and they will have their engineering boards, and they will have their engineering scales on them, and A1 or A0 sheets, and they will draw by hand for big projects. That's how it was. And it transitioned into a CAD system roughly in around about 70s. We talked about those things in our previous sessions. So please go and look at our, we ran a video as well, and we ran an infographics also. So have a look at those previous sessions to catch up with us. So what we're going to do is I will just show you, give me a what all modules we're going to be doing. So since I've designed this for you, and what all the terminologies, what all weeks we will be doing. Yes, it's not a rigid kind of a plan. If we are faltering somewhere here or there, of course we might pick it up in the next session in terms of what we're gonna be covering up. So give me a bit. Let me just put it in a bit. Okay, a bit more presentable way, perhaps, right? So there you go. I have my, in a bit I will just be showing it to you on the screen what all we would be talking about. Okay, so this is an Excel sheet that I'm going to share with you, which is our plan of how we want to cover the things or teach the things. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to type in the chat box, or perhaps if you're on Zoom, you want to discuss, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself as well. Okay, so there you go. So that's what we're going to do. Let me just make it a bit more. So what we have done is there's something called Bloom taxonomy. Remember, understand, apply, analyze, and evaluate. So we were spending, this is a 6 weeks look ahead for you, and we might change it at our own pace. Week 1, we will be identifying the core hierarchy of the information requirement and define key ISO 19650 terminologies. I will be sharing this in our WhatsApp group as well. What are the terminologies we will see? OIRs, AIR, PIR, EIR. When it comes to computers and management, people like to use a lot of acronyms. On a lighter note, just to confuse others and sound sophisticated. Don't worry, we will bust all those um, all acronyms and make sure that we are all on the same page. So that's what we're going to do. And we will be not only talking about concepts, we will also be talking about how they are implemented, which means I will not be showing you the tools though, but I will be giving you the examples of the tool. And from a perspective of the management, if you are going to your management and your management has given you a task that Mr. Draftman, or for that matter, Mr. Engineer, or Mr. Engineering head, perhaps engineering manager, you are required in this financial year, which is going to come for the Indian side of it in March. You would be implementing, and you'll be implementing um, a, you will be implementing BIM in the organization, and you will be telling us what kind of budget you need. I would be helping you out with that as well. What kind of manpower you would need, how many people you need to upskill, and what would be your strategy. So we will be building all this thing together, and you're more than welcome. And this will be an interactive class. It's not a one-way class. You need to give me um, your doubts so that I can clear them out, and how many of them I have done myself. So I have implemented BIM in my organization, which used to churn out roughly 300 dirhams, 300 million dirhams annually, and my team used to churn out roughly 3,000 drawings per month at an average. That was the churn rate of my team. So I was handling it quite, and we were doing at least 57 systems, or be it BIM, be it CAD. So I have a respectable experience in this one, and trust me, we can work on this together, and we can find out how this can benefit us all. So that's our course module. So 6 weeks overall, we are talking about. I'm pretty sure it will get extended as well, because some of these concepts might need more time, especially it's a BEP, right? If you see here, it's a concept that needs a lot of time, and I will be sharing you templates so that you will understand you will understand the reason why a BEP is important, because when it comes to BEP, it's more or less like your PQP. Yeah, I'm troubling you with a lot of acronyms. So PQP is a project quality plan, and PEP, which is also project execution plan, which is given by a project manager. And I can make a prophecy over here. The future project manager would be BIM manager himself. Why? Because the BIM manager has all the information with him, and he can see how the project is progressing. And if he has a digital twin, he's doing a digital twin kind of a project, then he has a live information coming from the site, and he can always discuss with his people which direction to go, and he's a better informed person as compared to a project manager. So I think we have come to we have overshot our time today. You are more than welcome to join our WhatsApp group. At the end of the session, you will see on the bottom right, there will be a QR code. You can always scan that and be a part of our WhatsApp group as well. And you can learn with us. With that, we come to an end of our session today. You have been a very awesome audience. Up until our next session, take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.